guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be sharing with you my top 4 sewing tools that I absolutely love. These are some tools that I guess everybody pretty much has in their sewing box, and there's a few that are more specialty, but things that I really enjoy using and use all the time. So without further ado, let's start. So the first thing is my Gingher Shears. I bought these a few years ago actually. I had for the longest time since I started sewing, just you know when you kind of they have like the sewing kits, and they come with like, you know, shears and pins and everything like that. So for the longest time I was using shears from those type of kits, but the more that I used them, the more I realized I needed something a little bit better. They didn't really cut as well as I had wanted to, so I ended up investing in one of these Gingher Shears. This, I think we paid, I want to say like 24 bucks or something like that. It probably was more, but I bought them online at Amazon, and these are just so great. What I love about them is that they're so sharp. Honestly, I have to actually get them sharpened. I haven't had them sharpened since I've had them, which has been a while. So I definitely need to get them sharpened. But even without having sharpened them, since I got them, they cut everything so beautifully without any problems. I really like the way that they cut all the fabric. I don't feel like they're ripping or tearing as I used to feel with some of the other the other shears that I had. A lot of them were wouldn't cut cleanly through the fabric, so they always would kind of snag, pull, and which would then misshapen some of the fabric, and especially when you're cutting out a pattern, like that's horrendous to keep on having that happen. So I definitely think to suggest investing in some good shears. These are really good ones. Also, Fiscal is a good one as well. I know I was thinking about getting a pair of those. I'm going back to school in the fall for fashion design, and I kind of didn't want to take my very nice shears with me, so I was definitely going to invest in some of those Fiscal. They have, like, I just saw the other day, they had like a really cute kit, and it came with like the shears and some little thread clippers, so I was definitely going to purchase that. So the next one I like, my next tool is the Fiscal's Rotary Cutter, and I love this. So it's like this, and then you just click the button, and the blade comes out, and you can just pop it back in. This is one of the best rotary cutters I've ever gotten. It cuts through everything really well. I have a mat. I actually just use an old, probably isn't the best thing, but I use an old cleaned, what's it called? I can't even think of the word. Oh, cutting board that we used to use for like fruits or whatever. And I use that, and I put the fabric on top. I need to definitely get a bigger cutting board, because sometimes I cut large fabrics, but especially with certain knit fabrics or really silky things, I actually like to prefer to use this, because I can just stand there, put my hand, you know, over the fabric, and then just cut around. I'm not worried that like by picking it up it shifts around and moves around. These are so great. I don't remember how much I paid for this. It wasn't that expensive, and I know that the blades really aren't that much either. They come in, I think, like a pack of 4 or 5 or something like that. But this is just so great, so easy to use, and just one of the best purchases, and things that I just use all the time with my sewing. I've also was recently cutting out some quilt fabric to hopefully make a quilt, and it was great just being able to stack a few fabrics up to each other and just cut out a square instead of having to sit there and, you know, cut through layers with my shears. The next thing is one of the best. It's a seam ripper, and we all know, but I really suggest getting a really good sharp one. I have had 3 different ones. This one's actually the one that comes with my sewing machine. It has like a little brush. It's actually a very good one. My sewing machine is a Gingher heavy duty, so I'm not surprised that, you know, the tools that came along with it were as well. But this is so great. When you find a really good seam ripper, it helps prevent a lot of tears and holes. When I had one, it's red and it has a little dot over here, and it was the worst one I've ever owned. It would go through fabric, but then it would it would get stuck halfway, and so I would be like trying to get through the threads. It's like this, and so sometimes in an effort to get it out, you just poke a hole into, accidentally poke a hole into the fabric. But this one is, and I have another one which I couldn't find for this video, but they're so sharp. I don't know if you can see, focus right there. It's just so sharp. It cuts through all the fabric. I mean, not the fabric, all through the yarn, the thread. If I can speak right, it cuts through the thread correctly, especially when I'm trying to seam rip. I recently seam ripped like a shirt that I had. Oh yeah, I had made a shirt and I just seam ripped through it, and it was just so easy and like no effort at all. Sometimes you don't want to be seam ripping, but if you do have to, definitely invest in a very good one. Now the last tool that I absolutely love is my walking foot. And this is, I bought the Gingher walking foot. I had bought this when I really started to get into working with fabrics, especially with swimsuits. Sometimes the fabric gets stuck, and the bottom feed dogs eat the fabric, and it's horrendous. And I always hate when that happens. So I had, after looking as to what I could do for that, somebody suggested the walking foot. And what's great about the walking foot is, as you can see, they have the feed dogs on the foot itself. So when you're using either light fabric or even sometimes even thick, like quilting and stuff like that, sometimes it's not easy for the bottom feed dogs to feed the fabric through. So using something like this really helps to really feed the fabric and not get it stuck. I use this all the time with a lot of the knit fabrics that I use, especially when I'm making like swimsuits and stuff. Sometimes the fabric can be kind of too slinky and slicky for the sewing machine, so my sewing machine just eats it all up. So this is so great. It's so easy to attach. You just attach this to the top and then this to the bottom part, and then it just sits and just walks along. So yeah, this is definitely one of the best purchases I had, and they're not expensive. I can't remember how much I paid for this. I'll definitely, all these things I'll link in the description bar below, but I know it was a good investment because I plan on using this for a lot of projects that maybe I felt like I couldn't do, and thinking it was me, but it really was just the fact that the sewing machine wasn't, feeding the fabric right. So I would definitely suggest getting a walking foot. So yeah, so that's actually all of the tools that I have for you today. I really hope that you enjoyed watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you next week. Bye!